Hey guys, welcome to BP, the Bible Perspective. You know, the Elijah McClain investigation is going on. After nearly a year, it is being reopened. Thank God. But that's a troubling case of a guy who was just on his way home from the store, and the police killed him and choked him. How do we stop that? I want to talk about that. I want to deconstruct that. Before we do, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. You know, last year, Elijah McClain he was an introvert by his own statements. He went to the store, and he was you can say, an odd kind of fellow. But see, that's not a crime. See, I'm going to keep saying that. I want to tell you that right now, what is going on, his death at the hands of cops, which was brushed away, justified by the DA, by the police department, which was standard, of course, nothing new there. But now it is being reopened. And again, thank God that the good that is coming out of George Floyd's murder, that people are looking at police departments, DA, finally, right? And this case is one of these troubling cases. This guy was innocent, wasn't a criminal. You can't say he was a thug. I wonder how Candace Owens would try to paint this guy. I digress. But anyway, his case goes something like this. Here's a guy who went to the store. He was an odd kind of fellow. Again, not crime to be odd. Odd in this way. He was wearing a ski mask. Later people would say maybe because he was anemic, he was cold. Okay, it's Colorado. Now I have a ski mask, but I wear it when I'm riding my bike in cold weathers, okay? So I understand the ski mask. He was walking. Again, not a crime. You got video surveillance of him going to the store, buying something, purchasing something. No one's alarmed, right? Nobody's looking like that. He pays for stuff and he goes home. Then what happens again? A caller. Someone calls and says, okay, there's a suspicious guy with a ski mask walking. Okay, I'm going to come back to the dispatcher. Cop shows up, sees him and tells him to stop. He said, I don't want to stop. The cops grab him. And then all of a sudden now it escalates to resisting arrest. And then all of a sudden he dies by them choking him. He's pleading with them live. He tells them, I'm an introvert. He's pleading. He's apologizing. It's one of these, again, sad stories. And there's also an infuriating story of the callousness of cops. These cops are still on the force, by the way. To make matters worse, the paramedics show up, inject him with something, and then that might have even caused him to have a heart attack or some kind of, So anyway, he dies. Case was swept under the rug as usual, but now it is being looked at. And the more you look at this, it is troubling. You see, when people say racism doesn't exist, the question becomes, why did the cops respond that way to him? I'm not going to talk about that now, but let's talk about how can it stop? What should have happened? And then we can say, why didn't it happen? Go back to the caller. I have a problem with callers, but we're never going to be able to do anything about them. In some respect, those who call the police, once they give their name, if they are making a bogus police call, you can start now fining them, charging them. This particular case is not something out of malice. A guy probably was concerned. Okay, like I say, I think it's a silly call. But okay. But here's what the dispatcher could have done. The dispatcher could have said, okay, you see a guy with a mask. Okay, what color mask he has on? Black. Okay. Okay, at this point, the dispatcher could have said, is he doing something? Is he dangerous? If you're looking at cars, right? What is, you're calling us alarm. So what is alarming about the guy in the mask? Okay? And at that point, the dispatcher could have said, nothing here. If he's just walking. See, all he was doing was walking. Even if the dispatcher wanted to say, hey guys, look, be on the lookout. We got a call about a guy in the mask. Okay, all right. The next thing is the police sees Elijah. Okay, here's the point. He was just walking. There's no crime in walking. There's no crime in walking with a mask on. Now, in some states, there is a law for masks, but these masks would be obvious in a sense of robberies and things like that. And that's it. I think, the same kind of mask that Elijah have, that I wear when I'm riding my bike in the wintertime. Okay? It's the best thing for me to ride. But here's the thing. The police, okay, they get a call. We're on alert. We see him. What is he doing? Just walking. So at this point, there's no reason to stop him. In fact, it is illegal to stop him. You have no cause to stop him. Constitutionally, you have no cause to interrupt this guy's life because of your own biases. Cop wanted to exert whatever, right? And then it escalated to his death. And I pray that these guys will meet the justice, you see, because there was no reason for that. The simple solution for cops is that never should have even happened. You never should have stopped him because all he was doing was walking. And what was the harm? We can go all the way back to Trayvon Martin when you had George Zimmerman, right? He thought he was suspicious. He thought he didn't deserve to live there. What was he doing that was wrong? In that case, the dispatchers did tell him, stop following him. We know how that case turned out. The point is, the very simple thing the police could do to just de-escalate things. But the question is, why do they want to? Why did that cop want to go over there and ask this guy what to stop him? There was no legal reason for him. There was none. He was just walking. I oftentimes say this: if you see 4 black guys, big black guys with dreads and baggy hip-hop clothes, should you be alert? Of course you should be alert. Here's why. Because guys who dress like that do arm rob and do all kinds of crime. But not all of them. So if you get a call and they call and says, I see 4 black guys walking. Okay, ma'am, dispatcher, right? Are they just walking? Yes, they're just walking, but they're black guys. Okay, fine. If a cop sees 4 black guys, right? If they're just walking, should they just roll up on them and throw them against the wall? See, under stop and frisk, they could do that, but stop and frisk, they've amended that. But should they, if you're just walking down the street? See, that's the difference when I say, in terms of what cops can do. This is an abuse of authority that they can't stop. You don't have to just harass because you can, because I'm a cop. And that's what the problem is now, that they're pouting because they can't crack heads and abuse people. And so now cops are threatening to quit. I say quit and make room for them to hire, because you know what? If 100,000 cops quit, I guarantee you got 100,000 people that'll take their place. And then you can train those cops, hey, how to police correctly. All right, guys, look, that's my perspective. And as always, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And if you have a thought or comment, it is always welcome. All right, till next time, I'll see you then.